out that I was pre-diabetic, and not actually because my provider told me, just because I was looking at the labs and the different ranges.
So you found out you was diabetic on your own?
Pretty much. Pre-diabetic.
Okay.
Pre-diabetic, right?
What's pre-diabetic?
So pre-diabetes is when your A1C is anywhere over 5.7 to, I believe, 6.1.
Oh, shit.
You're pre-diabetes. And then 6.2 and up is diabetic.
It's lit.
I ain't know none of this because I've got family members that are about diabetic. Shout out to my cousin Peter. And he was teaching me stuff about that, like how diabetics, when they get cut, they have to go to the hospital because it's not a normal cut for them.
Yeah.
Like if they get a cut on their foot, like they have to go to the hospital because they can, I don't know what he had said, but like they can lose their foot. They can lose limbs and shit. And I was
that's
like,
how my grandmother died.
Really?
So always make the joke and try to be lighthearted about it. But you remember in Soul Food
Yeah.
when Big Mama was like,
Yes.
ain't nobody cutting off my legs.
It's lit.
So my grandmother, she had diabetes and a lot of other comorbidities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Congestive heart failure, all kind of other stuff that went with it. But she pretty much went gangrene, which is when your blood goes septic and essentially it becomes poisonous to yourself.
Holy shit, I didn't know that was a possible thing.
So that's kind of what your cousin's talking about.
Fuck. Holy shit.
Pretty much they was like, either amputate the leg or you're gonna die.
Yo, listen. When niggas was talking to me about amputating stuff, I was like, we ain't cutting nothing off of me. What the fuck is you talking about? Nah, nigga, I'm gonna live with this diabetic and shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, nah.
That was my grandmother. She was like, ain't nobody cutting off my
Yeah,
leg.
because you're like, yo, I came in this world with 2 legs, 2 arms, 10 fingers. I'm leaving with all of my shits.
That's
like,
literally verbatim like what she said.
Damn.
3 days later, she died.
My condolences.
It's lit.
I mean, this was 15 years ago now.
But still, it's like it's an everlasting memory because you remember it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you know, not for nothing, like it's hereditary. So my daughter was also in the pre-diabetic range, and here I was.
It's
I'm like,
lit.
yo, we eat pretty clean, like you know what I mean. What is it? But it's not just about eating clean. It's about knowing what you got to eat. For your body.
It's also in your genes too. It's like it's dormant in your genes, and the wrong thing that you eat or drink can activate that shit. Especially like the COVID shit. You know what I mean?
It's lit.
The COVID shit was activating things in your body that was dormant that people didn't understand. And shout out to me, I didn't get the COVID shot.
It's lit.
Fuck all that. I seen that shit. They was like, oh, we came up with a shot 6 months. I'm like, wait, hold on. So I'm reading online. It says 3 to 5 years. Hold the fuck up. I came up with some shit in 6 months and you want me to take it?
Now, in its defense, right?
Yeah.
And I won't disclose whether I am or am not vaccinated.
I'm not vaccinated.
For
It's
employment
lit.
reasons,
You
right?
know what I mean? I feel you.
But
I definitely got around that too. I was
so
like,
what I'll say is this, right?
yep.
It wasn't that this vaccine got developed in 6 months.
Okay.
There was a lot of SARS-like virus research that was happening prior to.
Okay.
Remember, there's whole conspiracies around the fact that like COVID
It's
wasn't
lit.
nothing new. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was just new to us because now it's causing this like pandemic.
This epidemic, yeah.
It went beyond epidemic. It was a whole global pandemic. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? Other than people passing, I appreciate COVID because it taught a lot of people like self-worth. It taught people how to be more disciplined. Like in people like myself, I was afraid of getting sick. I'm an asthmatic. So they had told me like, yeah, you can't come to the hospital because you might catch it. And I was like, so how the fuck am I gonna do my visits? Like I need my fucking medicine. They're like, we gotta do virtual visits because if you come here and contract it, it's possible that it can kill you because it's a respiratory disease. So when I seen that shit, I'm just like, oh. Then I started seeing some of my friends, their grandparents were passing, like it was like every day. And I'm just like, oh shit, this shit might be real. Let me eat all these fucking orange peels.
It's lit.
I was going crazy. I lost so much weight because I was afraid to eat anything. Like I was drinking water, no soda, no juice, none of that shit. And I was always just like working out every day because I'm like, damn, I'm seeing how everybody's passing. This shit is real. We're really inside. Niggas is wearing masks. And I'm like, I'm not used to none of this shit.
I remember the grocery store looked crazy at that time.
Yo.
So you remember there's all kinds of memes that are out now with people with like full hazmat suits on.
That was me. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Home Depot. I swear to God, Bri.
It's lit.
I went to Home Depot looking for the mask, and them shits was sold out everywhere. Bleach, Sanitizer was crazy. Niggas was selling sanitizer for $100 a bottle.
I was about to say, you remember when Amazon started having to do price gouging,
Yes.
like consequences?
Because people was buying them shits in bulk and selling them
Clorox
shits.
went up to like a band at one point.
I appreciate that. Niggas in the hood was hustling. And I wasn't mad at it. And the only thing that was open was the grocery stores, Target, Walmart, and the gas station.
And you had to be an essential worker to be outside.
Oh, yeah. I had my essential paper. Shout out to my old job. You feel
So, you know what's so funny? That's part of my story is that my old job, I believe I contracted COVID twice before we knew that COVID was a thing.
What?
I was working at a facility and we were actually working with adults with disabilities, taking them out into the community to teach them soft skills to employment.
Oh, shit.
And actually showing them how to get like on the job training type stuff through volunteer opportunities. And one of the spots we was going to was a nursing home.
Okay.
And
that's where it was running rampant too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
but we
crazy.
didn't know any of this. This is February of 2020.
Right.
So one of the spots we're taking them to, there's like a group of Asian people that were walking around in packs, but wearing masks at this time.
Listen, the Asians was on it first. They already knew about the mask shit. We didn't know nothing.
It was on Asian news.
Okay.
So, we're looking at this like, yo, why they walking around wearing masks all the time? But we just disregarded it. We like, they doing their own thing.
They
whatever.
doing the Asian shit.
Right. Like, whatever. Yo, at one point in time, I got sick. I was out of work for a week. And then the week that I came back ended up being the week we had to go back.
Damn.
I went back to that site and got sick again.
Damn.
And the person that went to the site while I was out also got sick.
Damn.
So I wrote a letter to the job like, y'all need to phase this site out before we all end up done.
I remember when COVID hit, they was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have everybody, if you can't get vaccinated, we'll have a nurse pull up and they're gonna give you a vaccination. I was like, fuck no. Where the fuck you ain't? You ain't got no white jacket, no white lab coat, and you ain't in a hospital. I'm not taking nothing from y'all.
And the crazy part is that I had all the symptoms of what we now know as COVID. But I didn't have flu, I didn't have pneumonia, but I was dog sick. Like, couldn't explain it. The only thing that didn't happen to me for sure was loss of taste.
Loss of taste and scent?
I lost my smell.
Okay. I thought I had it when that shit happened because I'm like, oh shit, I woke up, I feel like shit. I'm just like, yo, who the fuck was I around? And this is when we was like recording virtually, but then every now and then we were meeting with guests at Dorchester Art Project. Shout out to Dap.
Shout out to Dap.
And we was like, yo, I think we might have to stop recording with people because we can't trust that people are clean.
Yeah.
Because people were taking the risk of coming around you because they were so tired of sitting by themselves.
Yeah.
So then a lot of people were like, no, I don't want to do it virtually. I want to come around y'all. Like, I want to see some people. And we're like, my nigga Show got kids. He ain't trying to bring that shit around them.
Yo, I'm telling you. So I remember my mother like literally damn near crying on the phone, like telling me like, yo, don't go outside. Cause sidebar. So that job gave me an essential letter worker, but I was already on like some fuck y'all.
Yeah, I'm doing
like,
my own shit.
I'm doing my own shit. And I had just started my nonprofit like right before all of this happened. Matter of fact, we got our paperwork back March 3rd of 2020.
Damn.
So 10 days later, March 13th is when they shut the whole country down.
Yeah.
So they gave us this essential letter worker to come into work. And I'm like, first of all, I already got sick twice on y'all's time and dime. I'm not coming in. Like, do what y'all got to do with me.
Facts.
And I was dealing with other stuff with them. They was violating my meal break laws and all kinds of other crazy shit that I was just like, yeah, I'm all set with y'all.
I feel like, like I said, during COVID, it made people level up because I feel like a lot of us were going through adversity at work. You know what I mean? And, and you either had to stay at your job or you chose to like, fuck it, I'm bucking the system and I'm going to go bet on myself and do whatever the fuck I believe in instead of just staying at this dead end where they're trying to tell me what I got to do. And that's not what I want to do.
And the crazy part about it is I dubbed their letter.
Okay.
And put my letterhead on it.
Oh, shit.
Like, I was like, if I'm going to be an essential worker, I'm going to be doing some shit I want to do. So my birthday is March 31st. So it was the end of the month, essentially, when we just got shut down.
Happy belated.
Appreciate you.
Happy belated. Happy belated.
I just turned that 30-30.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Dirty 30s. Yeah.
So
that's fire.
I pretty much took the money I got for my birthday. I was supposed to go on a trip and everything. Everything got canceled because of COVID. So I took the money for my birthday. I was coaching youth chair and football at that time. So I gathered a couple kids that was at home and their parents was like, do something with them. You know what I mean?
Get the kids outside.
For sure. And I took my daughter and we went to BJ's and started racking up on wholesale lunch stuff. So
It's lit.
our first street outreach was brown paper bag lunches to the unhoused individuals that were under the heated tents at that time.
Shout out to you.
So
do you guys do you do that type of work where you're always giving back to the community?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of stigmas around nonprofits. I think that sometimes I even underpay myself when it comes down to the work, just off of the strength of like, this is about community. Like,
do you have a nonprofit?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what's the name of your nonprofit?
It's called Resilient Roses Respite.
It's lit.
I like that name. That's fire. Hold on.
Dude,
That's fire. I like that shit. Yo, the shorty's always got the best names for anything.
It's
I don't
lit.
give a fuck.
That's my creativity. So Resilient Roses got started first. We went, bought the groceries, did some street outreach. You know what I mean? And still to this day, our first program was called Bridging the Gap, which stood for Grocery Assistance Program.
It's
So with the
lit.
acronyms, though.
Yeah, man, listen, that's my
That's
shit.
fire.
Now, shit is successful habits in transition.
Oh. Yo, listen. You don't waste no words.
Not at all.
I fuck
Words
with
mean
it.
nothing without context.
Yo, look at this shit.
So
It's a walking brand, dog. Walking billboard.
for sure. So I pretty much started that brand. I was putting my own money into it at first. I'm like, damn, I want to keep going, but
Yeah.
I ain't got the money to keep doing this
Yeah.
like this. So I started a list, like calling all local food pantries and stuff. I mean, Charity Guild in Brockton, shout out to them. We went to Salvation Army, everywhere that was giving food. Realizing,
Shout out to Heal the Hood. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
for
lit.
sure.
They
Shout
got
out to
their,
Heal the
he
Hood.
got his own shit over there in JP.
I just reshared him on Facebook the other day because he been healing the hood since that long. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
like I remember when he was over at he had something at Mass Art Institute. Me and Show pulled up there to support because we was like, yo, we don't want to just be talking about it online, bro. We're gonna show up there with our own media. We showed up there with our mobile microphones and all that shit, and was talking to him and other people there, and they was always giving him his praise. And my thing is like, I always want to give people their flowers in the hood and abroad because there's a lot of us out here like yourself putting out the good work, but a lot of people don't see it because I know in our community we're kind of like shy on showing what we're doing, and we don't feel like it's genuine if you're recording it. You feel me?
For sure.
But I feel like also people like us, platforms like ourselves and others, it's like, yo, give you guys your flowers because y'all are out here putting work into the community, and
Now-
nobody might not acknowledge it, but we also still want to make sure it's seen and heard.
One thing I love about what he does is he keeps shit true.
That's a fact.
It's lit.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
I code switched for a long time.
Really?
And I did, for sure. I ran for office when I was 25. On my 25th birthday, I announced running for office.
Yo, hold on. I like this. I like this. Because you don't know no boundaries.
Yeah.
You don't
not
give
at
a
all.
fuck. You're like, yo, why I gotta be super old to run for office? I can run for office right now if I feel like I'm fit.
For sure. And I ain't get elected, but I tell everybody I got connected and
You still did the work though. You still
For
put the
sure.
effort in, and you did the you went through the trials and tribulation of trying to get elected. So now as you get older, I believe that you can give that same game to somebody else who might want to run for some shit in the
For
city.
sure.
You know what I mean?
It's lit.
And with him, he keeps it in a perspective where like he doesn't change anything about him or his being,
Right.
about how he talks, about his opinions, any of that. I felt like after running for office, I conformed for a little bit
Mhm.
where I tried to fit in with what I thought an elected official should look
Trying
like.
to what is it? Shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah.
It's
and
lit.
you could do all of that and still be who you are. Like, shout out to Chio Say. He is a city councilor in New York.
Okay.
And he was somebody who, at that time that I was running, he was running too.
Okay.
He's actually been in office since that time and killing shit out
Fire.
in New York. But he was very different from what would look like a, traditional
Yeah.
politician. And, I was a little scared to go that route. I ain't gonna hold you.
I like the route that you're on because everything that I've seen you do that Show and I have paid attention to, I'm like, yo, bro, they're not expecting that from her. And she's out here putting the work in and showing you. Like, I've seen you bet on yourself. Like, I just seen mad shit. Like in the past year or two, I was just like, damn, yo, who's this Bri shorty? Like, she's doing mad shit.
It's lit.
Because I'm
Appreciate
asking, because I'm like, yo, you can't see this shit on social media and not acknowledge it. It doesn't make no sense. And like what Show said, me and him are like big supporters of feeding the ecosystem,
Yeah.
right? And we all, not artists, businesses, entrepreneurs, it don't matter what it is. You're trying to feed the ecosystem because I know our city and our state gets a bad rep for like not having support, but I'm like, yo, you just not tapped in.
It's
I
lit.
don't believe in that.
Yeah, at all.
I see a lot of these conversations happen online. Y'all just did a podcast on the music industry.
Yep.
And,
Shout out to Bia.
you know,
She shouted herself
for
too.
sure.
It's lit.
I think that that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like when first of all, I was a 16-year-old parent. You feel what I'm saying? And I got told there was so much shit I couldn't do. I couldn't sign up for the housing list. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. And I was like, how when I can have a kid? Like, y'all ain't stopping that from happening. So you can't stop these resources.
Right.
Some people don't have the wherewithal because of stress to continue pushing forward and advocating for themselves. Some people just don't know that that's a possibility. However, like the whole, they're not going to support me. It's bullshit.
I don't care about that shit.
Shout out to my guy, Steven Pina. He says all the time that, you know what I mean, he's never not working. And if you stand on business, people are staying with you. And that's 100% the truth. Alignment is crazy. Like when you put yourself in certain spaces that it benefits not just yourself, but the people that are around you, impact over income.
Yep.
Like then people will start showing
over
up.
income. I like that.
For sure. People will start showing up. And, you know, when it comes down to it, like, I've gone through iterations of myself. Like, and that's why I say I ain't dirty 30, I'm sturdy 30, because I'm standing in this shit. This shit.
I like that.
You know
I like that.
I
like that you show up as yourself and you always support others. Like I see the brands you got on, the Dead Dogs brand. I see you got the 456.
For sure.
Shout out to my dog Nice. Like I was talking about him for the past few podcasts because he's a dude from the essence who probably understood his ways and he's changing that. And he's not just talking about it, he's rapping about it and he's showing you that with his pop-ups and everything giving back to the community.
Yo, shout out to Nice and his branding, okay?
So
for me,
Dice, not people.
Okay, so for me, I love the whole aspect of marketing. Before I knew what marketing was, I was marketing myself.
Yeah.
That job I told you I left, I was taking I worked 3 different positions within that same company.
Damn, you work like a Jamaican.
Yo, I'm like, let me test my DNA because, you know. But I was working several jobs in that company and I had another job with another company at that time. So I was literally taking all of the job titles that they were paying me for and I created my own business card and put was now my nonprofit's logo, which wasn't a nonprofit at that time, on the business card because I'm like, they ain't gonna give me one. They didn't value me enough as one of their people in their company to give me a business card. I was like, I got one.
I'm gonna make my own.
I'm gonna go make my own.
Yo, what can't you do, though? Like,
nothing.
You've been doing it all.
Listen, but for real, shout out to Nice because I'm big on marketing and branding. I don't shoot dice. I don't gamble. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
I don't gamble either.
So if you notice, I got on the Shoot Hoops, Not People shirt, which
That
was a
fire.
collaboration because everything I do is teaching about business through the references of sports. It's easy to understand that the IRS is like the NBA, which is a 3-letter organization that's going to keep you in compliance.
Listen, you got to learn that shit with the IRS. Don't be running from them.
Don't run from tax days on the 15th, y'all. Get them in.
What's a gem that you could tell people about taxes?
Taxes could be your best friend.
Okay.
A lot of people really dread tax season, and that's because there's these tax codes that are written to be complicated on purpose.
Okay.
And if you don't have a CPA or someone who is a professional tax preparer that has been doing this for some time, shout out to Whitney Miller of Kings and Queens Tax Consulting.
Okay.
I've been rocking with her 6-7 years now with the tax game. And if you don't have somebody that knows these codes and knows what your business is and knows how to make them work to your benefit, you're doing taxes on the opposite end, where you should be doing it ahead of the game and all year around.
Okay.
If you understand taxes, you understand that you should be doing it from a perspective where you're doing tax planning during the year.
Yeah.
This is how much money I need to make by the end of this quarter. This is how much money I need to spend by the end of this quarter, so that at the end of the year, your books are lined up, everything's smooth, and you're able to take all of those deductions if you're not trying to buy a house.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're able to pretty much put yourself in a position where the taxes are working for you and you're not working for the taxes.
What's a mistake that you feel like or that you see often that people make with their taxes?
In general, it's not even just about taxes. It's about in business, people don't bookkeep. People don't track their expenses. They, spend and they commingle funds, spending a little bit for the business out their personal account, a little bit for the business if they have a business account. Not having sound processors where, like, at the end of the day, I see a lot of businesses that do Cash App and it's not Cash App for business. It's just regular, like, yo, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I'm like, you gotta do more than that. Like, you can't just
that.
be a Cash App. You can't start your business and be like, yo, Cash App me this instead of like.
And you can. Let me.
Okay.
You could start your business and be like, yo, Cash App me as a sole proprietor, right?
Okay.
But once you're taking your business serious, once you've made over $500-$600 in that business, and you want people to respect what you're doing, Cash App has a business side.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to get taxed a little bit out of that, but it saves you in the long run.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? For me, if you can't send me an invoice, I'm not shopping with you.
It's
I fuck with that. That's professional.
Yo, and it's had a lot of people feel some type of way.
All right, you can feel some type of way.
But listen, if I can't file taxes on what I spent, if I can't, me wearing this is marketing right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Noble. He's actually one of my clients.
Shout out to Noble, man.
It's
Noble been going back to the community for years with the Museum TV.
Yo, Museum TV, Noble Tents, A&M Embroidery.
Yes.
Like, yo, so me and Noble talk on a regular basis, and Nip actually died on my birthday.
Okay.
So that hit me hard that year. That was 2019. That same year for his birthday, I went to LA and took a trip just to feel his energy. Where
the
he
marathon
came from,
store, yeah.
you know what I mean? See everything that was going on. I was actually there for the grand opening of the first marathon museum that they did out there.
It's
Oh, shit, fire.
That's what started my business.
I think, now, I don't know if everybody relates to me on this, but I believe like Nip is the one that kind of put the battery in a lot of our backs as creatives and entrepreneurs, because before him, you know, we had people like Diddy and everybody else, but it wasn't like Nip. I feel like Nip was letting you know, like, yo, you can do something in your community. You could be more than what they're telling you to be. You can own stores in storefronts. Like, you could buy back your hood. I never thought about that growing up. I never thought about having a store in the hood, because I can't speak for you. For me growing up, it was like, all right, when you make your money, go make it elsewhere. Go put it elsewhere instead of in the hood, because, you know, a lot of us have survivor's remorse, and we come back to the hood because we feel like if we don't come back to the hood, we're not giving back. But in actuality, sometimes you ain't got to go back to where you came from. Like,
it's lit.
You can still level people up and help people out, but I just feel like when you stay in the hood and you're too attainable, it makes you a target. That's just my personal opinion.
So I agree and disagree.
Okay.
Now, to the point of everything I've done since then has been Nip inspired.
Okay.
So he
It's
talked
lit.
heavily about vertical integration.
Yes.
So
Because I remember he was buying casinos before he passed.
yo, dude was doing all kind of things.
Facts.
Me running for office was off of Nip.
Okay.
He said city council meet and they got hustle speaking.
It's
And
lit.
for me, that was like, all right, city council meet and they got Bri speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to see myself through what he was doing. This
Okay.
is, I mean, I'm a diehard Tupac fan too.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
When we talk about it, think about the fact that when Nip died, he had Bloods and Crips tying their flags together in the
It's
streets of
lit.
LA.
I think people are afraid of that. I think people are afraid of that.
I don't even have no words for what that does for the hood. You feel what I'm saying?
It scares people though that I think America in the world is afraid of a black man or a black woman with a free mind. And when we're breaking down narratives and cycles, I think that scares people.
Hell yeah. Look at Chairman Fred. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even make it to 25.
Yeah.
Like, and he was speaking. Like,
Yeah.
when we talk about great leaders, all of the greats didn't make it to 30 or 40.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
So-
lit.
You're right.
They took them out young. And what people underestimate, why I work with youth, my nonprofit focuses on youth engagement and development.
Look at you, man. You got the acronyms for days. I like
Listen.
that shit.
Why we focus on youth is because of the fact that these youth are the next leaders.
Yeah, to the future.
They're the future, and that's what scares people.
Yeah.
When you think about the fact that Chairman Fred was 21
Mm-hmm.
setting up the People's Free Store.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, this was stuff that the government couldn't attack because they didn't have any say in it. They didn't have any
Yeah.
hands in it, and they did everything possible to make sure they assassinated the vision.
Yeah.
So when you look at this, people try to underestimate the value of what youth say. But when George Floyd was brutally murdered in the street by police,
Mm-hmm.
who you seen out at those protests, and it gave me goosebumps to talk about it, was kids.
It's lit.
Yeah.
Granted, the world was in a global pandemic,
But
so
the kids are
everybody and their
fearless.
mama was out there
The kids
because
are
nobody
fearless,
had
though.
work or school
Yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah.
But the kids will feel this, and
Yeah.
the kids are who are going to push that agenda forward. The kids are who were the masses outside of West Middle School in Brockton,
Right.
outside of the police station in
Yep.
Brockton. Like, when you look at that, I was a kid at that time because I wasn't even 25 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the next generation, there's so much that we lack in the resources. And I know this has been a topic of conversation. I don't get too much into Boston politics because I don't live within the city, but
But you're a part of it.
I'm a part of it
You're a
for
part
sure.
of it.
It's
You're a
lit.
part of it, and you support it, and you give back to the city, so you are a part of it, whether you live here or not.
Y'all had Mayor Wu on here, right?
Hey, listen, hold on. definitely have Mayor Wu on here. And I can't badmouth her because she came on and she stepped into the fire. Like, she knows everybody don't like her. She knows everybody's not going to agree with her, but I give her props because she actually gives you the time and day. There's a lot of people that don't. Like, there wasn't no, I didn't see this with Mayor Menino. Shout out to everybody who loved Mayor Menino. I didn't see this with Mayor Walsh. I didn't see this with Kim Janey. Shout out to Kim Janey. Like, I did her first photos for her time for the mayor. I came down there to City Hall, shot her photos because to me, I was like, oh, this is a moment. It's a black woman in the city of Boston. Like, we don't have that often. We're a predominantly white city, as they tell us on the outside. I don't believe that here. I think the minorities are the majority here. Like, so when I see people like,
I don't even use that word minority. Sorry to cut your wisdom. Tell me. We're the global majority.
Oh shit.
So there's no way we could be a minority.
You're right.
Feel what I'm saying?
You fucking right. I like to be corrected. Correct me.
Like, nah, but and I don't badmouth Mayor Wu either. You feel what I'm saying? However, when we talk about the funds that go into different sectors that like, okay, take it back for a second. I was heavily invested in Brockton at this time.
Okay. Shout out to Brockton.
Shout out to Brockton for sure. What ended up happening was after 2020, there was groups of people that actually pushed the work forward beyond the protest. And I was a part of those groups. Okay. And one of the things that we did is we successfully advocated for over $300,000 to be removed from the police overtime budget.
Okay.
And what that
300,000?
300,000.
Damn, okay.
And that was line items and line items and line items, pages for pages for pages of the city budget that we got less than a week before the budget had to go and be approved.
Damn.
So we then went up to the city council meeting and was like, hey, no, we don't want this to happen. We don't want that to happen.
But how'd you go about that? Like, how'd you find out how to do that?
So it was, I would like to say, collective bargaining and pooling resources. We had different people that had different levels of knowledge from different spaces. We had lawyers who were involved with this. We had regular community members who were involved with this, activists, advocates, all types of people who just wanted to see something different in their community. Parents who had kids in these schools and were like, yo, like, we don't want to see, first of all, Brockton at this time actually didn't have enough police on their staff. So there was
I remember that when we was burning their Dunkin' Donuts and all that shit down there during the protests.
And there was a lot of people who were actually getting paid overtime because of that.
Damn.
But if you think about that, that means they're getting paid time and a half.
Facts.
When it might actually be cheaper to just have enough officers on staff.
No, you're right. You're right. But that's why I like hearing it from people like you, because you're on the ground and you're actually putting in the work, and so you're able to see these people. Like, shout out some of the people that helped you out with some of these endeavors that you happened with.
William Dickerson, he was one of the headers at that time, and not William Dickerson from Boston, because I know there's also a William Dickerson in Boston. This is William Dickerson, who's the co-director of MCAN. Shout out to MCAN, Massachusetts
shout out to
Community
MCAN.
Action Network. And, you know, we did a lot of work together on the ground through Brockton Interfaith Community at that time. You know, we formulated a coalition called DARK, which stood for Demilitarize, Accountability, Reimagine.
I'm gonna have to go back and put hella acronyms
coalition.
in here.
Yeah. All the acronyms.
This is fire. I like this.
But it was a double entendre for we were bringing to light what was happening in the dark. Okay. And that's where that acronym came from. Okay. Shout out to me again. You know, I'm gonna toot my horn for a second.
As you should. You work too hard to be humble.
But I love being able to bridge the gaps of understanding through acronyms. Like, if you could say some shit that people can understand, then they can relate to it, and then they'll be like, all right, word.
It's not boring.
It's not.
And I think our generation got better at like giving not direction, but giving information and not be preachy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I'm not gonna say I hate. I just don't do well with people that are preachy. It's like, all right, I get it. You can preach to me, bro, but tell me in another way to help me understand it, so that way it's not so boring. Because I know how the youth is, where they have short attention spans. So you have to be cognitive of how you give it to them. If you give it to them how their mom's giving it to them, how their dad's giving, they're not gonna listen.
And we're in the microwave generation. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
listen,
I'm in school right now, and
shout out to you.
I'm taking a course on organizational behavior.
Okay.
And right now I'm actually, so part of why I was running late today
no,
is I got
listen,
a paper due.
Listen. I respect the grind. Listen.
So I'm writing about the downfall of Nokia, the rise and the downfall
of the Nokia phone?
Yes.
Okay.
So Nokia actually, in the same year that Bri was, conceived,
introduced
to the world.
Yeah.
1996 is when Nokia came out with the world's first smartphone.
Wow, with Snake on it. With Snake on the phone. I remember that phone in school.
So when we look at, they were one of the industry's leading companies
In
when
tech.
it came to
Yep.
telecom, tech, all of that. And then by time 2007 rolled around, when Apple and Samsung rolled out iOS and
The Blackberries and
Android,
all that stuff.
for
Yep.
sure, those operating systems, whereas Nokia was still using, I believe it's called Symbian or something like that.
Okay.
And that operating system was boo-boo. You feel what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, and they had good hardware. Their phones were good,
Yeah.
but their tech, their software was buggy.
Yeah.
And here comes iPhone and
It's
Android.
lit.
With the good screen. You feel me?
Yo, killing the game.
Yo,
you feel
listen,
what I'm
I
saying?
loved the iPhone when it first came out. Like, I was a
Yo.
huge fan.
Yo,
Huge fan.
I wanted an iPhone all my life.
Yes,
you
yes.
feel me?
It's
I
lit.
definitely went down to like the trading stores. I was like, yo, I'm trying to trade in to get an iPhone. They was like, oh, you could buy a brand new one, $1,000.
Facts.
Nah, give me the used one
And
over
you
there
know,
for
these
like
kids
300.
won't know nothing about the sidekick and the
Oh.
Tony Hawks. You know what I mean? Like, that was something
Sidekick
different.
LX, the Sidekick ID. What?
Yo,
It's
and the
lit.
crazy part is I was born 96. So
Yeah.
that's right at the cusp of the generation that understood we had cords on our phones.
Yes.
And you had to be in before the street lights came
Yes.
on. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist anymore.
Anytime minutes.
Like, yo,
Anytime
free
minutes after
7.
9. After 9.
Yo. Like, hold on.
It's
Don't call me right now. I hit you after 9. You know
Oh, you
what
got
I
to
mean?
hit me with the next tell. You got to chirp me. It's free.
Boost, where
It's
you at?
lit.
Yeah. Oh, Boost Mobile. Yo, you got it.
So, like, during that period of time, they failed to adapt to the changing
Yeah.
environment, and they
Yeah.
thought that they would have catch up time. But what I say to people all the time is it took man a lot longer to figure out how to chip away at a rock to make it a sphere versus a square
It's
than
lit.
it did for the advancement of technology in the last 20 years.
Listen, you got gems. I fuck with it. I like this shit. Listen.
So,
It's
I'm a
lit.
big Bri.
Microwave generation means that these phones, these screens, these CPUs in our pockets
Yep.
put us in a position where we actually psychologically lose our focus and our attention because of these
On
phones.
purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
So when you think about how you have to convey information to people, that shit cannot be boring. When we talk about clickbait, when we talk about, you know what I mean, just what are we calling it? Visual hooks. When
Yep.
you open up a video, all of
Is it
that.
going to make people stop and look?
That's all it is. And
Yeah.
3 seconds is all you have. We
all
talking
you
about
need.
15
It's
seconds.
lit.
3 seconds is all you have to capture
Yeah.
somebody's attention. So if you don't got that shit on at one point in time, if you ain't hopping out of a whip,
Yeah.
if you ain't got drip with the chain,
If you ain't
like,
falling in the beginning of the video or look like you fighting or about to shoot somebody, they ain't going to look at
they're
it. It's
not
crazy.
gonna look at it. And,
Yeah.
and it sucks because there's a lot of people out there who have substantial information that get overlooked by people who are pushing bullshit.
No, that's a fact. But that's why I try to make sure myself and show like people like yourself don't get lost in the shuffle because there's people like you that people need to hear. There's people like Heal the Hood. There's people like Noble. There's people like CWFT Radio. There's a whole bunch of people out here in the ecosystem that's giving back and trying to change the future because of the past that we all come from. You know what I mean?
I
So-
love to
It's
see
lit.
those collabs too. Like I seen y'all did a collab at one point in time with C-Dub.
Facts. Shout out to
And
Charlie.
That kind of shit is so dope.
You need
because-
that, bro. Like I told him when we first had Charlie on our podcast years ago before he started his shit, he was still a rapper. And he was like, yo, I'm about to get in the podcast.
Yo, we
shit.
forgot he got bars though, right?
Yo, listen.
It's lit.
I was like, yo, Charlie, you need to drop a freestyle. He's like, nah, these niggas don't respect it. I'm like, I feel you. I feel you. They ain't gonna fuck with it just because of who you are. But that don't mean that you don't have experience in the field. You can talk to artists because you understand as an artist who tried once before, what may not have worked for you can work for somebody else. So you can give them game and gems. However, you're also going to run into obstacles, but don't let that shit deter you. Like you're going to find naysayers and all these people that might not believe,
Always.
but don't let that shit stop you.
It's lit.
Now, I was watching a TED Talk the other day. I love TED.
Me too.
Like before we had TEDx Roxbury, I
Me
was
too.
watching TED Talks. For
Me
years.
too.
Now, fun fact, I've gotten through round 1 3 times in a row
Damn.
and haven't made it
It's
through round
lit.
2 yet.
Why?
So it's
Would
a nervousness behind the camera.
Really?
Believe it or not.
You nervous? Nah, fuck out of here. Hold on, nah. Fuck out of here. You should have with mad acronyms. Your
Yo.
impromptu skills, your response, wittiness is like this. I can't imagine.
Because
you
we're
getting...
conversational right now.
Okay, understandable.
And it's understood that if you notice, I'm not really looking at that camera.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
So the conversational piece is cool. When you're
Yeah.
getting in trying to present something, like it's a completely different thing. So I've definitely that's one of my goals to get on TEDx Roxbury specifically because
It's
get back to the
lit.
hood. You know what I mean? Like when I was homeless, I was in shelter in Roxbury.
Wait, you was homeless before?
Yeah.
Hold on, tell me about the way. Hold on. I've been homeless too as a teenager. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
It's
so
lit.
I was a 16-year-old parent.
Okay.
I actually got put out of my pop's crib when I was 15.
Okay.
Shortly after that, I ended up pregnant with my daughter.
Okay.
Very shortly after that, life just took off like a snowball effect, and I was homeless for roughly about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. And how'd you go about like getting shelter and whatnot? Like, did you go to a shelter at all? Or you stay with family?
Crazy
and friends?
shit. I almost died giving birth, and
Whoa.
my mom's has always well like this. She's always been in my corner.
Yeah.
I actually lived in Atlanta for a good portion of my upbringing.
Yeah, I seen that.
And when I came back up here, because I was just getting in all kind of trouble out there, I came up to move with my father, and that went south real quick.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, because you went back to the same place that you left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Mom Dukes was begging for me to come home at this point, but I was kind of like, I made my bed, I laid in it,
Yep.
and my mom's was in kidney failure at that time.
Okay.
And it was just me, her, and my sister, but my sister had just lost her father. She was, living on her own now, and it was just me and Mom Dukes. And as a stupid teenager, I had a fear of like losing my mom's and not knowing how to like.
That ain't stupid.
Yeah, but how I acted about it was stupid.
Yeah, but you acted how you supposed to at a young age. Like
It's
when
lit.
we young, we gonna wild out. When
sure.
we're young, we're ignorant. We think we know it all, and we might not be as open to information and guidance. Like we all did that shit. I was running away as a young kid, but I also didn't know why I was running away. It was more so like, all right, my pops don't understand, so I'm out here just trying to make shit shake on my own. So for me as a young boy, it's like young boys get in trouble all the time in the streets because we don't. I'm not gonna say we don't have guidance. We just make the wrong choices, but that's part of life, being young, right? And you're gonna meet some people in the street that are good for you. You're gonna meet some people in the street that are bad for you. But I think that as we get older, like from 15 to 19, I feel like those are the pivotal years where you learn shit and you get stuck in whoever you are, or you learn to become whoever you want to be.
So you just said learn shit, and that's actually my framework.
Okay.
It's
Learn
lit.
shit for me stands for successful habits and transition.
Another one. Huh?
And that's actually the framework is sort out the stress, hold yourself accountable, introspect, which is digging into that why that you're talking about, and then target successful tactics, because every time you went through some shit in life, it didn't kill you. So there
Made
was
you
something
stronger.
that you did that was positive.
It's
about it.
lit.
It's a fact.
So I always say when working with youth, there's a small window between the stimulus to their environment and their response to it that we as mentors, advocates, family members have to actually give them enough information so that they can make informed decisions.
Right.
And my mom's at the time, we were always tight. So my logic as a 15-year-old was distance myself.
Really?
It was distance myself so that I wouldn't be so hurt by the loss of my parent if she was the only one that really was like there for me.
Yeah.
So like if
You're trying to
some-
prevent that and trying to like dictate how it's
Exactly.
going to happen.
Exactly, which hurt me in the long run.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm
of
saying?
course.
But she never let me go, and
Right.
that was what was important about it. So even when she was begging for me to come back home to Georgia, I was like, nah, I made my bed, I laid in it, and I kind of went on the run.
Mm-hmm.
But at that same time that I went on the run, because I had gotten into a domestic assault with my father, I was back and forth in court.
Whoa, damn, hold on.
It's lit.
Yeah, you be going all over the place. Hold on.
Yeah, we got to back up.
All right, look, I've been there. I've never been in a domestic shit, but I've had those disputes with my parents, like even my own mom, right? Like when I hear you saying all the things that your mom did for you, it's like, all right, that's the type of love that motherfuckers need growing up, because
sure.
not all of us got the same
Unconditional.
shit. Yeah, like
It's lit.
I didn't have that same shit with my biological mother. Like I was raised by a true village, and it was a lot of I'm not gonna say the guys didn't do their job. I'm gonna say the women took the time to implement moral values within me that others didn't do in the streets, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
It's lit.
And I feel like a lot of young dudes, we learn a lot of our shit and our code from the streets, because your family could teach you and instill values within you, but once you in like the essence of it, you walking down certain streets that you can't walk down. You might be on the bus or train and you encounter people that got problems with you, but you ain't got no problems. Like
Right.
you just out here trying to get to it. And I think like as young men, like we learn shit, we go through shit, we lose people, unfortunately, but it makes us stronger, it makes us better. I salute anybody over the age of 30,
It's lit.
because a lot of us ain't make it. A lot of my friends ain't see an iPhone.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when you put that into perspective, I was scared to hit 30 for a little minute.
It's lit.
I was like, damn, I'm getting old. Like, and you start having this anxiety about like, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And then you got to put it into perspective.
Yep.
How many of your peoples really didn't make it to 21?
And I ain't trying to squander
25.
this moment either. I can't squander it because it's like, I'm here for a reason. So let me push and push until I figure out what my purpose is. And I think a lot of dudes, at least in my age demographic, we didn't understand what a purpose was. A lot of us didn't expect to make it past 21.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
with you. Like, I'm a product of the hood and my family, right? And I knew at like 16, 17, I think is when we got shot at my first time. And then at that moment, I was like, all right, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I want to be dodging bullets, sitting outside in the white t-shirt, 2XL from fucking Foot Locker,
It's lit.
looking like
Banging
a target?
in my white tee.
Yeah, with some new J's on. Like, do I want to
Facts.
die with new J's on the weekend? Like, because in the summertime, it's like, I can't speak for nobody else, but I feel like when it get warm out, you be like,
Yeah,
some
I see
shit
them
about to
ops.
happen.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah.
Yo, it's so crazy because I went in and out, right? So I have a friend who was a former friend that this was after I started trying to like get my life together type shit. And I always reasonably hung with people who were older than me. My sister's 10 years older than me. So the crowd that I rocked with was always just naturally
Same
older
here.
than me. And then when you go through shit in life that gives you this worldly experience, the people who are your age that aren't going through that shit, you no longer relate to them.
Yeah, you can't
so
relate.
you end up going and tapping in with the older crowd
Because
anyway.
that friendship or that relationship served its purpose. That's how I see it.
A
Like,
reason to season and
It's
very
lit.
few for a lifetime.
what the fuck is you got more acronyms? Like, damn, that's fire.
This friend was older than me, and used to sip a little bit. You know what I mean? And long story short, got into it with some peoples. They hit me like, yo, come get your bro. Like, this nigga's tripping, whatever.
Damn.
And I get over there, and he's nice. You feel what I'm saying? Like beyond the point of like, we talk about ain't no breathalyzer, ain't no passing, no test.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
We know you nice. You feel what I'm
Facts.
saying? And the person who he was getting into it with called their peoples. And by the time I'm getting there, their peoples is there. And like
shit shaky.
in any other situation, he would have been aware. If he wasn't sipping, he would have known what was going down.
Yep.
And I'm seeing dudes stand over there just like
Waiting.
dumb quiet.
Waiting.
And them two are going back and forth. And my people's is like, yeah, nigga, keep talking, da-da-da-da. And the other dude's like, yeah, da-da-da-da. But that nigga's over there quiet. I'm like,
You peep the surroundings. You peep it.
and I'm staying quiet too because I'm like, I'm trying to get him in the crib, and every time I get him in the crib, he come back out talking
so you
shit.
can't save him.
So I'm like, yo. Long story short, we get to the end of this incident, and dude pulls out.
Damn.
And I jump in front,
What?
and the tool ends up on the front of my forehead.
What?
Yo,
What?
yo.
Hold on. So you dodging death to save motherfuckers.
Yo, when I tell you that I probably kicked it with him like maybe once or twice after that.
Yeah, because you was like, I can't do this shit.
And then one day just stopped speaking to him.
Yeah.
And still to this day, like he'll hit me up every once in a while, like, yo, sis, was good. Like, and it's been like 10 plus years now. Maybe not 10, maybe like 5 to 7. But I was like, yo, like you put me in a position where I got a kid to go home to, and I could have lost my life because you're stupid. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I learned that even with people like Show. Like, I used to tell Show when we first started the podcast, he liked to go to every event. I'd be like, yo, bro, you gotta protect yourself and your energy. Don't just go to everything blindly, because everybody will expect you to be there and will call you a fuck nigga if you don't, because that's just how the city is, right?
It's lit.
But I'm like, yo, you got a family to go home to, bro. And a lot of times, Show knows where we go places. Like, we're always, cognizant of our surroundings, and we always try to show love and be gracious and show gratitude. But I'm like, yo, you ain't got to go everywhere, bro. Like, just because they're asking you to come don't mean you need to, because you got to be aware of your surroundings. And for me, like I told Show, he grew up in Mission. I grew up around the city. So I know a lot of the artists that are popping now, artists of yesterday. I'm cognizant of the hoods, all this shit, because doing this podcast shit, you kind of got to be aware of certain shit.
for sure.
Right? And even with me, like, Show knows this. When my car got shot up in 2020, it's like, nigga shot my car like 12 times, grazed my shoulder. But it's like, I'm trying to tell him anything can happen anywhere, bro. Like,
It's lit.
anything can happen anywhere. But to me, I was like, I guess because I grew up in the hood, I'm accustomed to shit,
Mm-hmm.
and I shouldn't be, right? And my trauma and PTSD, it's so normal that I'm gonna duck down but in between the car and just get out and look at my whip like, damn, nigga, I just got a car wash.
So you know what's crazy? Once you go through certain trauma, it's like putting on a pair of glasses that you can't unsee.
It's
You know what I'm
lit.
saying? You can't unsee it. So even me, when I pull up at a stoplight, I pull in between two
Yo.
cars.
Yo,
Like-
listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm glad you said that shit because I be trying to tell the shit to my shorty. I be like, yo, when she be like, yo, why you pull back so far from the car? I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. It's just like, it's the hood mentality. I gotta leave room to pull off in case I need
and
to.
dip out if I need
Yeah.
to, scoot all the way back
Yeah,
and roll. Like,
yeah.
I don't pull in front to a parking spot.
Never.
I
I
always
back in. Come on, man.
And shout out to
lit.
Tesla,
Come
because
on.
you got to back in the charge. You feel what I'm saying? So like, nah, like I don't play those kind of games. And you know, shout out to King Bricks.
Yeah,
He
shout
has
out
a
to King
track.
It's
with,
lit.
I did a little artist management for a period of time too, and Maitland's Dawn was one of my artists.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? He has a song with King Bricks called Risk.
Okay.
And
It's lit.
the hook to it is I'm all in for the risks, but only if the deal right.
Mm.
And then King Bricks got another one where he be like, feel like I'm a payphone because they paying me to speak type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
I want to give King Bricks his flowers, bro, because I've seen like his elevation in music and his character. Like I see him working out all the time. He got the dudes in the hood at the gym working out with him, and I'm like, yo, I'd rather see that than you niggas on the corner.
No,
It's
let's
lit.
really talk about character
Okay.
development with
Yeah.
him, right?
Yeah.
So King Bricks is somebody that if you watched his journey and his whole beef with White Jizzle and you know what I mean, that whole shit,
Mhm.
like he really did a 360.
Mhm.
Or I even call it a 180.
180, yep.
180. And when you watch how like his music is still trill shit. You feel
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's still popping his shit, but he's not invested in the bullshit that would take him out the game.
It's lit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's what I respect.
And that's what I respect. Like I remember watching his docuseries on YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? Just walking through the hood, like, and telling his story to him being a fat boy because his nana fed him. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like we could bust down some of his bars. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But really looking at how he's incorporated health and wealth in his brand.
Yeah, and that's why I give him his props.
Yo, shout out to him for sure.
I give him his
because,
props for sure with that.
yeah, there's not a lot of people that as young as he is too, because
Yeah.
like people don't realize how young he is.
Yeah.
Like he's not
It's
even
lit.
30
Because
yet,
he looked like a grown ass man.
and he's not even 30 yet. You
Damn.
feel what I'm saying? So like really looking at, he's one of those figures that I love that he's with Nice. I love that you see him with Slim. Like
Yeah.
he's one of those people that can show these kids that there's something else to the other side of that. And that's that stimulus I'm talking about. The stimulus of the environment. If I
Yeah.
ain't no punk, I ain't no pussy, to, hey, yo, you are a punk and a pussy if you let somebody trick you out your spot.
Exactly.
Yo, like-
Exactly. You ain't a punk of pussy because you ain't busting guns. You a punk
Yeah.
of pussy if you let that nigga influence you. Like, get your own personality, your own backbone to say, nah, I'm cool. I'm not fucking with that. There's
And I ain't
nothing
go-
wrong with
yo,
that shit.
Nothing wrong with, and ain't nothing wrong with being strapped.
Nah,
I'm always
there's not.
strapped.
It's lit.
You know what I
Listen,
mean?
shout out to Don Firearms. We had him on
Yo,
the
for
podcast.
sure.
You feel me?
For
It's
sure.
lit.
And I told Don, I was like, yo, Don, people need to hear this shit from you. He's like, nah, people know. I said, nah, Don.
They don't.
Everybody don't
They
know,
don't.
bro.
Listen, I'm
'Cause
licensed in 36 states.
See?
Like,
See?
And I travel for work. You feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I do
Yeah.
healthcare IT. So when we talk about you gotta protect yourself.
Yes,
You
yes.
never know what some old shit you did back in the day, like in a Bronx Tale, and they gonna come back and get you.
Or not even if you did some shit. People can have closeted hate just because they see you winning.
It's
sure.
lit.
People can have closeted hate because they always hear your name, or you help somebody else elevate that they don't fuck with.
Yeah, always. And it's so I don't let the politics influence my business.
Never.
And there was a point in time where I did, where like, you know what I mean? Like,
We all did. Like, we ain't gonna fuck with this person because we got a loyalty to that person.
and to some extent, I'm still like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I'm
I'm loyal to
selective
the
about
soil.
I'm selective about how I'm gonna handle the situation.
It's lit.
Facts.
Because you can respectfully decline somebody's business where
Yes,
it
without
don't feel like
disrespecting them.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like disrespect has to be a part of the loyalty, and it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a fact.
nah, you could stand on business and do what you got to do and have loyalty to your people. I've dapped some people up that I know my peoples don't fuck with.
Yo,
Like-
and I think that's what makes you so solid. Because I've met people that I know have talked down on me, but to me, it's like, yo, I don't care. You know, because you can say things about me behind closed doors, but until you meet me in person, you won't understand. Like, I have to be selective. Like, I'm from the hood, so
It's lit.
I'm not gonna be like blind to just fucking with anybody. I don't have no problems, but I know people can have problems based upon who you know and where you grew up. Shout out to Noble. Noble knows a lot of niggas in my hood,
Sure.
right? And I used to always tell Noble, like, yo, bro, like, just make sure you always doing good out here. I like to see the shit that you're doing because you helping my niggas that I grew up with get on. Shout out to A-Zip.
It's lit.
I brought him on his first podcast on my podcast platform, and he got nominated by BMA. That's a great thing in the hood because there's a lot of niggas that we grew up with that could rap that died too early. You feel me?
Yo, shout out to Noble again, and like that's
It's
really
lit.
like one of my best friends. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I give him that title, and when it comes down to it, Noble, I always say, I be like, yo, you a noble nigga. Like he knows I say that shit all the time because at the end of the day, he does not claim to be from the hood.
Yeah.
He does not try to be hard. You feel what I'm saying?
No.
He just be like, nigga, I'm just trying to get this money.
And I respect that
It's
because
lit.
there's niggas, like I told him, he's came on our platform before, and I'm like, yo, I respect that who you are. But everybody can't be you. You feel me? Like I gotta be my own person and walk on my own journey, if that makes sense. And for me, if you know me and just where I grew up, like everybody ain't supposed to be cool with each other. Everybody's not gonna be cool with what the fuck you do. Everybody's not gonna be cool with who you fucking with. I used to do interviews with people, and my niggas from the hood would be DMing me like, yo, that's them kids. And I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm not even on that type of time.
Yeah.
I'm not even on that type of time, my nigga. Like,
And it's hard to separate yourself too.
nah, it's not. Because I've always been that way. Like, if you meet anybody who knows me from Washington Park, from the hood, all around the city on podcasts and all that shit, I move to my own beat, my own drum. I respect everybody and what they do. I'm cool with a lot of niggas that don't like each other, but I'm also the dude that's in the rooms like, yo, bro, you ain't never hit dog up to ask them, like, why y'all got a problem? Like, y'all might have a problem that somebody else said, and you don't even have a conversation with that person. Like,
It's lit.
you having beef or issues with somebody that you shouldn't have issues with. There's a lot of niggas and women that can do business with each other, build with each other, but gotta let go of those egos and that closeted hate. That's the shit I'm hating on.
sure.
Like,
It's lit.
that's all I'm asking for. Be better than the last generation before us. That's it.
Yeah.
Because our elders didn't have the information that we have nowadays. Our elders didn't have the support that we all are doing nowadays. And even when I heard you speaking earlier about having your kid, like having you have a daughter?
Yeah.
Having a daughter at 16, like how'd that change and mold you?
Man, listen, I just turned 30 and my kid's going to high school.
Damn.
It's
That's
lit.
fire.
I don't know if I would say
No,
fire.
I think it's fire because in a way, I envy the people who had kids early because they told us not to have kids early. But I see the people growing up with their kids, and I think it's so fly.
Yeah.
I think that shit's fly. I don't have any kids yet. All I got is dogs. You feel me?
It's lit.
But it's like when
Nah,
I see it,
is
I
dope,
respect
though.
it.
It
I
is
respect
dope.
it.
Like, you know what I mean? A lot of what I've done in community was off of understanding that I didn't want my daughter to be a statistic.
Right.
As a teen parent, I was a single teen parent at that. She's never met a father. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't got baby daddy issues.
Wait,
and
so
none of that
wait.
shit.
Tell me how that works. Tell me how that works. Where it's like, where you're raising your daughter, you're raising your daughter obviously to be better than you and be better in situations than you are. But do you have those moments where like her not knowing her dad, does it bother you at all?
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
That was a complicated situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But you got through it though. Or did you not get through it all the way? Or do you just put on more of a front so that way it's
not
better?
a front. I was a very stoic kid.
Okay.
So like I didn't cry giving birth. You
Okay.
feel what I'm saying?
Word?
Type shit. Like,
Oh, you a cyborg? The fuck?
like, you know what I mean? I was just
We
more
just
so,
sat there like, yeah,
yeah,
okay,
nigga.
okay,
I was
okay.
like, we got her in this work because my daughter was born at 2 pounds 12 ounces. I almost
Okay.
had a stroke giving birth. You feel what I'm
Damn.
saying? Like my
It's
blood
lit.
pressure was 172 over 121.
Nah,
that
you
shit
blessed
ain't
and
supposed
highly
to be that.
favored. You
You
blessed
feel
and
what I'm
highly
saying?
favored, yeah.
So I was more so just blessed that she made it through. It was also a sense of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't believe it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, well, you don't know, but you're going through a whole pregnancy, and I didn't look pregnant the whole time I was pregnant. So there was
Damn.
people doubting that I was actually pregnant, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Damn.
And you know what I mean? It didn't feel real. I was
Okay.
also I got pregnant like right after turning 16.
Damn.
So
It's lit.
I was still a kid in a kid's mind, like with that
Yeah.
infallibility and just not realizing like, yo, life is about to get real different.
See, but I still respect that because you're not one of those people that gave up. And I don't want to shun the people that gave up, but I also want to shed light on the people that went through hardships and it didn't like cause them to be jaded.
Yo,
Because
we was in a shelter and the shit got burned down 2 days in a row.
What
dog.
the fuck? What
I
the
can't
fuck?
make this shit up. Yo, I got a book coming out soon. So
Damn,
stay
yeah, you
tuned.
need to drop that.
It's lit.
But I really can't make this shit up. And
Damn.
the crazy part is one of the shelters that I was in, I've now gone back and been a consultant as their lived experience consultant.
It's lit.
Fire.
I've traveled to DC and advocated at a national level for
Fire.
teen parents and for
Fire.
person-centered design. So like, there's all kinds of shit that I literally say, turn your stress into success.
No, listen.
It's lit.
I like that. I love the acronyms. I love how positive minded you are, and you didn't allow your past to dictate like your future. You know what I mean? And me and Show created platforms like It's Lit because we always want to highlight the good shit and the bad shit because we need a little bit of medicine in the candy, like I tell people, right?
It's lit.
But it's allowing people like yourself to get these conversations out because hearing these kind of conversations, people might want to put you now on that second round of the TED Talk, right?
It's
No,
lit.
no, you know what's so crazy?
bullshit.
Though? Like, I hid from a lot of these conversations for a long time.
Why?
One, out of embarrassment, just
Mhm.
real talk. The
Yeah.
other piece of it is I didn't know if I was ready to deliver this story.
Yeah.
And we're in cancel culture.
Yes.
And we're also in a time frame where whatever you say becomes clickbait on the internet.
It's lit.
And you don't have, remember, I started off saying words mean nothing without context.
Yes.
And sometimes these clips don't give you enough time to provide context to the shit you're saying. And then somebody's like, oh, she said this, she said that.
It's
So
lit.
I wasn't ready. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now, like I said, I'm stepping into sturdy,
You step
30
into
different.
that. You step into your greatness. Like Show had brought a guest on years ago, and she was like, "Sam, why don't you?" Because Show was always like, "Yo, bro, you gotta be on camera more. You gotta start popping your shit, like, because you do a lot, but you don't tell people." I'm like, "Yo, bro, it's something that's embedded in me. Because in the hood, it's like the people that would talk about you all the time.
One of my clients that I actually just offboarded in the last week, we did a good 90 days together because all my clients I work with for 90 days.
Yeah,
It don't matter if you got my highest package or my lowest package, you get 90
It's
days.
lit.
This client, I met them. Shout out to Royceville. He had a series that he did for entrepreneurs, and he had me as a speaker at one of them.
Okay.
Or actually, all three of them I was speaking at, but I attended all of them too. And this person attended one of his speaking engagements.
yeah.
Then I was also hosting something separately in Brockton, and this person also happened to be in Brockton.
Okay.
So it was like, oh shoot, I just met you the other day in
Facts.
Boston.
6
and
degrees
then
separation.
Yeah, for
It's
real.
lit.
Yeah.
6 degrees separation.
Yes. See. So then from there, they went through that workshop that I was doing, which was over the course of a couple of weeks. Then they onboarded with me as a client
Mm-hmm.
and actually took the vision that they pretty much created in the incubator class that I was doing with them over those couple of weeks,
Damn. Okay.
and actually
It's
turned
lit.
it into a nonprofit.
Fire.
And then pulled other people in, and we started it up. I did their branding, their marketing, their paperwork, got them going. And then now they're like off
Making
to the
money.
races.
Making
They're
money.
in a cohort of something else to help them do what they got to do. And I won't
Mhm.
even say making money yet, right? But creating impact and actually pushing their vision forward.
Speaking of impact, do you do like workshops?
Absolutely.
Okay. What's some of your
Absolutely.
workshops?
So most of the workshops that I do are actually youth focused.
Okay.
So like right now for February vacation, I just did one with Arts Foundation. Shout out to Jackie Joseph.
It's lit.
Her artist name is Keisha because she's
Okay.
actually an artist as well.
Keisha.
Keisha. It's
Okay.
actually her name spelled backwards. Jackie spelled backwards.
Oh, that's fire. Oh, okay. I see what's going on out here.
So she has an organization called Arts Foundation, which actually stands for Academic Artists Reaching Towards Success.
Okay.
It's lit.
Another acronym. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I'm not
So-
surprised.
We just did a workshop for February vacation that's STEAM focused. So
Okay.
science, tech, engineering, arts, and math.
Okay.
And then we're also doing one for April vacation. So if you got kids
It's
between the
lit.
ages of 12 to 18, sign them up.
Mhm.
And that workshop is focused. I'm doing the money math, which is really finances, credit,
Yep.
budgeting, teaching the kids the stuff that is boring.
Yeah,
And
but it's gonna help them in the
It's gonna
future.
help them in the long run. And then they told me it was boring on day one, so day two I souped it up a little bit.
It's
See, but that's why we need people like you
Yeah.
who's gonna soup it up when you know it's boring. It's like don't
Yeah.
teach the boring shit to people that have short attention spans. Make it so that way they want to be in tune and in their trees.
Especially during their vacation week where they're like,
Come
yo, I'm
on,
waking
they-
up and
What?
coming to
They trying to go ride dirt bikes and mini bikes. What the fuck? We in the hood.
So, you know, I do those workshops with them. I had a partnership for some time with Brockton Public Schools where
Okay.
I actually one of my main passions is working with adults and youth with disabilities.
It's
so
lit.
reducing ableism in our communities,
Yep.
teaching them the soft skills that they need for employment, actually taking them out into the community to apply those soft skills, and then recreation that's facilitated.
Yo, you do everything, yo. I ain't even trying
There's nothing we can't do.
I ain't trying to interrupt your wisdom. You know what I mean? Hold on. I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? Listen, I'm super intrigued. I hope we could do this shit again, and I wish I had more time. We're gonna set up another one because shows like, yo, we have to do one with Bri, dog. Like,
It's lit.
he was like, dog, you don't understand how dope Bri is. He's like, I've been following her for a minute, and he's like, yo, I want to bring her up to shed light on her because he does that with a lot of people.
He
like,
does, for sure.
I tell people like, Show is a great person to know because he's invested. And like, I'm always gonna be loyal to Show because he's one of the people that I remember showing up to my brother's funeral.
It's lit.
So I told him I'm forever loyal to you. Like,
Yeah.
and I had just met him with the podcast.
Yeah.
So only knowing each other a year. We got nominated that same year. My brother got killed. We passed and
Sorry for
we
your
won.
loss,
No, I appreciate it. And we won best music podcast that year.
Yeah.
It's
Yo,
lit.
that alignment though.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's a
and,
fact.
You know what I mean? Me and Show have been around each other in a lot of different spaces where we haven't directly connected. But I'm like, yo, I see what y'all are doing. You know what I mean? I be joking back and forth with him in the DM like, yo, Show, when you gonna bring me on? You know what I mean? But it's I'm glad I got to do this interview with you today too, because I think that it is important to pull your face out as well.
That's a fact.
You know what I
That's a
mean? We
fact.
know Show is on It's Lit, but we
Yes.
need to know
It's
you on here
lit.
too.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm always the person behind the scenes because I'm like, I feel like I try to be a dot connector and I always want to take advantage of any opportunity to connect bridges because we all are separated by 6 degrees separation, but we all know somebody that knows us.
for sure.
You feel me? So it's like, I don't want to squander those moments and those opportunities. And I told him today, yo, bro, go do what you got to do. I'll stay and I'll make sure she still gets seen. You feel me?
It's
Because
lit.
we want to be intentional with our time and our effort. And we always just want you to know, like, people like us support you. Like, you always got a home here. You can always
sure.
pull up,
I appreciate
bring
y'all.
somebody.
It's
If we need
lit.
to pull up outside, we go and do that same shit. Like in the summertime, we be recording outside. Niggas just don't know.
I see y'all. Y'all do a lot
We
of
go,
work
we go
outside of the pod,
everywhere.
for
We
sure,
go
for sure.
everywhere. And like I'm involved in the BIPOC community, so I'm always doing volunteer work. I work with the youth. I do a lot of shit. I just don't showcase it because, like I said, a lot of us feel like it's not genuine.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like the one recording myself, putting it out, and it don't feel like it's genuine and it's not received well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know where we live.
Yeah.
I respect it, but it's like I'm still gonna do the work whether people know it or not.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
It's
I'll
lit.
leave you off on this, right?
Yeah.
So you talked about bridges, and I have first of all, driving to Malden, bro.
Yo.
Like I gotta drive over that big ass bridge, all right? And I hate bridges over water.
It's
Like,
worth it.
my
I
palms
hate
start
bridges
sweating.
too. I hate
yo.
bridges too. I swear to God,
And
when
then
I
you
go over to
seen that-
Tobin.
Yo, you seen that bridge collapse a couple years?
It's
I'm
lit.
Yo, listen, I seen the same
worst
shit.
nightmare. Worst nightmare.
Same shit. But I got you.
How I started learning shit was actually based off the concept of bridges.
Okay.
So understanding that if I allow my fear, which is false evidence appearing real,
Another acronym.
if I allow my fear to stop me from getting from point A to point B,
You'll never get there.
I'll never get there, and it won. So the idea is that bridges are actually held up by stress. So there's tension, torsion, all types of stress that actually holds up a bridge.
Yeah.
But too much stress will make a bridge collapse.
It's lit.
So the idea of stress, the difference between distress and eustress, EUSTRESS.
Okay.
And eustress is beneficial stress to help you pass that test, right? Whereas distress is some shit you can't control that you're stressed out about.
Gems.
So the
It's lit.
simple question to help you get from point A to point B and get across that bridge is, do I have impact over this outcome?
It's lit.
You know what you need to do this with? On your TED Talks. The
Yo,
same-
this is the TED Talk, bro.
No. The same way you're doing this now. Like I know it's nervousness because I've seen it and I've been around. Like shout out to Kurt, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
lit.
Shout out to
Shout
Kurt Falston. He got recognized this year and all that shit. And people like me and Show, like we support Kurt. We've been to his shows. We've been to his events. We've been to his Harvard events. We were shooting the Harvard events with
So
him.
that's how I met Show.
Okay,
was
really?
at Kurt's Harvard event.
Come on.
It's lit.
Come on. Oh, like
And he's one of the people that I'll just give him his flowers for a second and say that in this industry of speaking in general.
Oh, he's top dog.
He's taken it from just speaking to workshops to conferences to all of these different things that it evolved from. It's almost
Yes.
like vertical integration in this industry itself. But he does something that nobody else in our city has been able to do, and that's bring people together to talk about mental health.
It's
That's a
lit.
fact. And when I seen him bring 19 keys out here, and shout out to Kurt because he threw the alley oop to us. He was like, "Yo, bro, I want you guys to show up to Big Night Live and podcast on the side because I believe in y'all and I believe like a lot of people will learn from you guys and just mixing, mingling, shaking hands. I'm a big energy believer.
Mhm.
So whoever I meet, I feel like it's intentional.
For
I got
sure.
my brother tatted on my right hand, so that way when I shake people's hand, like it's for good intention. It's like
For sure.
I don't shake everybody's hand. You know what I mean? Like for you, I gave you a hug when I seen you today.
It's
I ain't
lit.
never met you,
Yeah.
but I understand good energy breeds good energy, and I don't
sure.
want you to feel like, all right, just because my dog's not here, like I'm gonna treat you any different. I'm
Yeah,
gonna treat you
nah.
exactly how I would treat anybody else that I fuck with. Shout out to my dog Skills.
It's lit.
He know. Feel me? Like,
sure.
and I want people to take in this episode, listen to what you were saying, and be able to digest it and be like, yo, give Bri her fucking flowers.
You know
It's
what?
lit.
What people need to learn from this episode is how many other names we mentioned in here. That
Yes.
there's no pun in name dropping if you're giving people their flowers. You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
man.
Name dropping is only a taboo thing when you trying to name drop to get yourself somewhere or to get clout. Nah, we name dropping the people who are actually putting in work in the city, collaborating at different levels, impact over income for sure.
So
So
listen, hold on.
it's lit.
Impact over income. That's the name of the episode. Impact over income.
and
like
then,
that.
And then we gotta give some flowers to Darius Benders on that one because he has a program impact.
Shout
over
out to my
income.
dog.
It's lit.
Let me tell you this before we get out of here. Shout out to my dog Darius, right? I've known Darius for years.
Okay.
Like since he played football. Darius used to have a podcast that we used to produce for him called Talking Keys Podcast.
It's lit.
Right? Him, Marv, Desi, who's a wrestler now. Shout out to Desi.
It's lit.
And they used to do their podcast over at Cybersound with us. And like I told Darius, I was like, yo, bro, you got to get the gab, bro. Like, you got to get the gab. And he started learning about business and finances. And I think he had went to Atlanta. Started seeing this nigga pull up in a Lamborghini. He pulled up to my crib in a Lotus. I was like, hold up, nigga. Hold up, nigga. Let me get $1. Like, you feel me? But I just like seeing success stories like that because I've broken bread with him. I've shared ideas with him. And I've seen his journey from when he began as a promoter. You feel me? To where he is now. It's like, I got to salute that.
And then I can't mention him without the connection, which is my boy
It's lit.
Dish. So Nice Solutions. You know
Okay.
what I mean? He's in the credit space. And
Okay.
he's actually somebody who I slid in his DM to learn some stuff back
Okay.
in 2020. And then we've connected since then. And
It's
we've
lit.
he's actually one of my business partners. You know what I mean? We do a lot of different work with educating people in the financial literacy space and all of that. But, it's all of these people in the city who, whether it's Boston, Brockton, we in Mass, we in New England.
You feed
know
the
what I mean?
ecosystem.
For sure.
It's lit.
Tell the people where they can find you, any events that you got coming up, so that way they can follow you on socials as well.
So I'm at Coach Bri Nichols on all platforms, BRINICHOLS, and you could find me through these different platforms. You could go to my website, see what services I offer. Again, that's CoachBriNichols.com. I'm also an investor and preneur, so if you trying to get
It's
some tech
lit.
to move your business forward, tap in with me. And you know what I mean? As far as events right now, this year I've been chilling. Like I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing on the nonprofit side with youth.
Being intentional.
Being very intentional. I did a conference the last 2 years in Atlanta, so I'm stepping back this year, focusing on educating myself so that I have more substantial information to give to other people. And maybe you'll see me at an event. Maybe you won't.
I think you
know
need
what
to be on more of these platforms. Like, I think a lot of these platforms out here in the community, in the state, and abroad need to start having people like yourself as guests so that way you can give this information. So you can give these gems and give this game so that way it doesn't fall on deaf ears because there's only so much that you could do with your own community, your own consumerships. And if you mix and cross these demos, I feel like it's going to get across to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, you know what I mean? I'm always somewhere speaking and teaching, but if in terms of like an actual lineup this year, I'm falling back to just really build with intention. So if I see something that's in alignment and I'm speaking, you'll see me promote it on socials.
It's lit.
But other than that, you know what I mean? I'm really focused on my clients. I only serve 5 clients every
I'm
quarter.
about to get you some business. Watch. We're going to do a live show. It's going to be business and all that shit. I'm going to have the proceeds go to you from the door and watch it. Watch that shit blossom.
It's lit.
We're going to do something for sure.
Oh, listen, we going to do something.
It's lit.
Like,
We going to learn
you,
shit.
You can't be giving these type of gems and I'm over here just sitting here like, damn, yo, she said mad shit.
It's lit.
I got to go back and like really listen when I go to edit this shit. We're going to put this shit out tomorrow, just so you know. yeah, listen. We don't play around. We get our shit out ASAP because you can't withhold good energy and information. And like I told you, I don't ever want to squander the moment. So it's like, I want to be intentional with this time and make sure that it goes out accordingly and it gets to the right people in a professional looking way So it's respected.
Nah, I appreciate your time today. Getting
No,
to
I
hear
appreciate it.
Bri
I'm
as the
glad.
person.
I'm glad I was able to give you some loose leaf tea.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
yo, with some raw
lit.
honey.
You feel me? Yo,
Okay,
listen.
we sipping our tea.
We got
and
standards
spilling
out
the tea
here.
too.
It's lit.
We got standards, like
For
because
sure.
I know I had the alcohol, but I always put the alcohol just in case because some people need it. But once you
Yeah.
said I need tea, I said
Yeah.
move this shit out the
Yeah,
way.
and you know what? I'm big as branding and marketing. If we not sponsored and we not getting,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the reason. You put the bottles here, so they be like, oh, I wonder if they need some branding. Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. You got to speak it into existence.
For sure, we're gonna have to get Poland Springs to endorse show too.
It's lit.
Listen, better do that shit. Coach
Okay.
Bri, I appreciate
Love,
you.
peace, and chicken grease. Man.
Thank you. It's lit.